All right, time to jump into chapter 4 and the beginning of the not reasonably paced length of the rest of the stages in the game because, well, yeah, technical is getting a little too, what's the word I would use, ambitious for these stages.
Greedy?
No, I wouldn't use greedy. I would say definitely overly ambitious in terms of trying to tell a story through only one stage at a time. It really should have been broken up a little bit more between these.
I mean, you say that, but ultimately these things still end up on the lighter end of things. You play typical Dynasty or Samurai Warriors games during or before the PS3, and people will say, yeah, I spent 30 to 45 minutes on this single stage.
I still don't think that's a good thing, personally speaking.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying that how bad, regardless of how bad it is now, it's been worse.
Yeah, I suppose so. Anyway, so unfortunately, chat, I'm going to be pulling rank a little bit here in order to just like Zoro. Yeah, my brain's fried too. And because I think this is the last time we'll be able to use any of the reasonable characters going into the last bits of the game, because from here on out, we're going to need to bring out the power players. We really are.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely true. Ugh. Some stages will take you a long time for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm fully expecting we have like, we're only at like 2 hours and 30 minutes right now for recording, but legitimately, I can foresee these last sections taking another 2 hours, and that frightens me a great deal. All right.
I was going to say, there's one of your problems, is letting the dialogue fully play out.
I only did that like twice. I do not believe Eneru would team up with Blackbeard in any way, shape, or form.
Not willingly.
No, definitely not.
And that comes across, don't you worry. They make sure to tell you that. I mean, he's not being controlled yet. He's just here for the hell of it. I guess he got bored being on the moon.
Maybe he just want to take a field trip for once, or just taste the sweet, fresh air of Earth once again, because he's surviving up there somehow. I'm wondering if that's going to come around at any point during the story.
If Oda's not a hack, it fucking better. You showed us that there is actually a connection between Skypiea and the moon, visibly, / also a connection with Shandora there. And you've also shown us that the moon is capable of sustaining life. One of 5 moons. We don't need to see all of them, but you need to follow up on that in some way, shape, or form.
Back up. Did you just say that the Earth has 5 moons in this universe?
Give me a minute.
Oh boy, the things I was not privy to before. By the way, you're going to be killing 20 Pacifists at this stage. Good thing I brought him. Although he should have been a little bit better, but you know what? Hey, I'll fucking take it, I guess. Oh man. It is tempting to try to finagle this a little bit in order to get some more juice out of Zoro, but honestly, as long as I got some other shit, I think I'm fine. Speaking of.
There you go.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Okay.
From the Library of Ohara, One Piece has 5 moons orbiting its one Earth, if it's even called Earth. And again, One Piece is weird. If you want to get technical based on how the red line works, you could theoretically say One Piece is a ringed planet in that it has a ring of uninterrupted landmass, being the red line going all the way around the circle of the Earth.
Yeah, that's true. So here's one of the issues with Time Skip Zoro. Lion Song is a great fucking ability for base Zoro in order to whip out a lot of damage really quickly. With this version of Zoro, however, he has to lift people up into the air very slowly first in order for it to go off. Yeah. It does have a good downward hitbox, but yeah, that's not the best thing in the world. So as a result, I am mostly just using him to abuse like 3 moves, more or less. And trust me, it's not like I haven't tried to find the merits of using this form. It's just that it's not quite there. That being said, the trick of being able to dash cancel the initial activation of the charge is still present. So that's really funny.
The good news about this stage is it's actually very small. It's a handful of small hubs that are all reasonably close to each other, and the bases of which are fairly open, so most of your Musos should take out crowds fairly quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, so even though he has 2 of the literally same Muso back to back, the level 2 does chew through guards pretty heavily. Like, literally, but you do it, style / keys, and then just kind of disappears. Honestly, pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That being said, though, gotta get there.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, there's still the old caveat that if you let go of, or if he gets hit during the charge, he loses it completely. So, not great.
Yeah, that's another one of those reasons why game is bad, is because once your enemy does...
Fuck. I just completely melted the amount of the HP bar of the base, though. Did you see that?
His tornado is residual.
I'm aware. And boy, was it residual just now. All right, maybe we got something. I'm gonna.
Before you go to the left, go back and do the base on the upper right. You've got someone trying to make a path on that side too.
I talk about. Oh yeah, I got it. Hopefully we're able to take care of that relatively fast.
The determining factor in whether this becomes 3 days, and I really don't think it will, is as the moment you see anyone is trying to go anywhere, just focus on them no matter who else is present and where.
Hello, frame rate. How are we doing today?
Hello, 3 pacifistas in there.
Yeah, Purgatory Origiri completely fucking shreds bosses. So that's one good use out of him. One. And
Even if his damage was good, his moves just aren't as fun as they used to be.
no, I feel that. Let's see, combo into air super. All right.
Again, it's that all-consuming great irony in a series full of characters that can do insane, wacky shit. You get the one person that's normal, and somehow they feel the most fun.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think Black Tornado actually has a lot more range here than I'm used to it having. Okay, so at least in this game specifically, before we get to Pyro Warriors 3,
That icon is not moving.
Gonna need a long fucking break before we get to that one, by the way. I'm gonna say that this version of Zoro is probably better than that version. Although,
No, I can't fight you there. That icon still is not moving.
which one are we talking about?
The one on the right that you just got started. You need to clear out those rooms in their entirety.
Give me a moment.
To the last single guy. This is an issue that is also rectified by 3. Don't you worry.
With the very rock stupid AI that does not like to move at all until literally everything in their path is gone.
Yep. The question for the next stage: are you doing it twice or just once? We're doing it twice. You need.
We are doing it twice. We're going to show off the first ending, and then the second ending. I say it out loud, and I realize, yeah, this is going to be a long fucking night.
Now you might be saying, well, why don't you just look at the cutscenes in the gallery? The answer is because the actual stage changes, and you end up with different gameplay as a result of that.
It literally is at a different stage. So like, that's entirely definitely selectable, by the way.
Yep.
All right, this isn't going well though.
Hey, it's finally moving. Are you going to want to keep going down to the right, though, because there are bosses you can take care of down on the right.
Oh yeah, I see.
On the right testicle.
Truthfully, I was tunnel visualing for the last like 3 minutes.
I feel that. This is a stage that can do that to you pretty easily. You just look at what's directly in front of you instead of what's on the map.
I feel like the last couple stages I've been doing that actually. There we go. Oh wait, no, I missed that fucking base. Hang on. There we go. Oh.
See, that's another interesting thing, is actually in some of these later stages, they'll throw a base out there, but not actually have any commanders, so you have nothing to attack, so it just infinitely spawns enemies because there's no way to turn it off.
Yay.
To turn off that leaky faucet.
Okay, Purgatory Onigiri is definitely being abused here to down these pacifistas in record time.
Jesus.
Yeah, right? Not complaining about this. I sure hope there will be a more meaningful difference between level 1 and level 2 super if they functionally have the exact same hitbox.
He's gonna do that thing he do again, where he appears for 8 seconds and then runs away.
Checks out. Oh yeah, the tornado is better than it usually is. I haven't even had to tag into fucking Mihawk yet.
This scene is pretty funny though.
Kizaru really just parried Eneru.
I believe Eneru parried Kizaru.
Huh.
Yes, that detail. According to Oda, if Eneru was a pirate and was judged on the Blue Sea, his bounty would have been 500 million, which would have been a hell of a step up from Luffy beating Crocodile at 81 million.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good thing. He would have gotten a hyperinflated ego or something. Or overestimated for the time. He was able to add that to his resume.
It really is good thing that Luffy, specifically because of his Devil Fruit, hard countered Eneru in his entirety. Very glad about that fact.
Oh, yeah.
And still one of the best moments of writing the show has ever produced, not gonna lie. I don't think that's much of a stretch to say.
No.
And he set up electrical fences. A man's really
Effectively,
paranoid.
Yeah. We can't just walk through those. We're not Luffy.
Skill issue. We could totally do it.
Kizaru fighting gods. I hope becomes a thing. Well, you know, there are some people that think because of how many times you've seen panels of him looking away and what might be discussed from the things that the 5 Elder Planets are doing, that he might turn on them and end up attacking one of the 5 Elder Planets. But at this point, I think it's a little far gone because we haven't seen him do that in like 2 or 3 months, I don't think.
Yeah. We haven't yet reached our Boo killing Bobbity moment yet.
Yeah, I suppose that's about how you would phrase that.
Turning against your captors as it is.
Now, by the way, where do you fall on that line? Do you like the original story, which is Bibbidi created Boo, or do you follow on the side of the retcon, which is Bibbidi found Boo and then controlled him?
I don't think that I need to answer that one. I think you know the answer.
Yeah, but some people are like, no, the newest canon is the only canon. It doesn't matter what's actually written in the book that I can buy that's 35 years old.
The newer canon also has shit tons of retcons and plot holes, so, you know. This isn't just about Bibbidi, although I'm sure it does. This is a general statement.
You're saying you don't like the idea that Supreme Kai or Kai fruit grown on the Kai tree?
Yes. It is a little silly that... Nah, I'm not making those jokes.
Oh yeah, the main guy is down there on the left.
I feel like I've already been in this base already. I did.
If he'll let you. I cannot be captured.
Not with that attitude.
I wonder about that. Oh no, Sentomaru on the very bottom left.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, that's gone. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they come and go. They just flicker on and off every so often.
You know, I'm starting to realize one of the actual biggest issues with this game's level design. And it's not even, like, insofar as, like, the obvious stuff with everything, like, being too spread out and everything and whatnot. You know what it is? It's the fact that you never feel like you're making progress at all.
This is fair.
Considering, okay, no, like, think about it. Like, how many times have we gone through stages and we cleared out an entire fucking level only for then, like, 5 new, like, bases to then be taken over all at the same time with, like, 5 new commanders?
I don't think that's necessarily a layout issue. I think that's just an issue of you programmed a bad stage.
No, because those are, like, story beats. Like, the story progressing is what triggers those.
Right, see, I thought you meant the actual map design. That, like...
You could make that argument. I think it's... Yeah, it's probably more fair to say, like, progression thing.
That's bad construction?
I'm going to say bad game design in general.
Yeah.
Or bad story progression, yeah.
As I'll say, for all the faults this game has, I honestly don't think the maps are the issue or...
Outside of Punk Hazard.
Or one of the bigger issues.
I think a couple of them could definitely use some tweaking, personally speaking, but maybe that's just me. Let's see. Sentomaru first, I think. Yeah.
I mean, believe me, I don't think they're perfect, but I think they could be worse. Like,
Can I hold? Almost.
I think he's still airbound.
Yeah, it looks like it. I almost managed to catch him on the way down, but no dice.
Like, I think the worst ones are still in 1 and 4.
I'm going to disagree lightly on 4. I think outside of literally the last level, I think it's relatively good in its level design. Also, mostly because it feels like you have the speed to match the incredible layouts that they go for with that one.
The problem with 4 is the way it works is there are like 5 or 6 stages in each chapter, and up until the last stage, all of them are just slices taken out of one big map. You finish this slice of the map, you go on to the next slice of the same map, and then the next slice of the same map. And you sure did make something that you are literally showing us you could have done this entire area in a single map.
Okay, this is going to be a hot take probably, but I think I actually prefer that over what this game is doing with repeatedly undoing all your progress and dropping multiple waves of enemies throughout the entire map that you have to go defeat. I think I actually prefer this.
The problem with that is, sure, some of these stages are long, but on the complete opposite end, you have some stages in Pirate Warriors 4 that are, I sure did beat this stage in 70 seconds.
Fuck, I do need to go all the way around. Wait, I can't even do that. What the hell am I doing?
I think you might actually just be able to punch the wall.
I hope so.
That's how it was on some of the other stages where line is drawn and...
Eneru drops. No, please do. I need to go save the boy. And we're going to open that one. Also, at least this game has the best enemies lobby in Thrill Bark in the series. I can't believe it keeps getting worse. I'll agree on Thrill Bark. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah. I mean, Thriller Bark's only competition is 3.
Hey, look at that. Just spawned like 6 new pasta pizzas I need to go probably kill. See, exactly what I was talking about. Maybe it's that gets worse progressively throughout the game. Or maybe it peaked with Punk Hazard. Weird to say. And it's only like now getting much worse. Now we're getting deeper into the game. But man,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll say this specific issue is going to get worse the further along you get. I think you actually end up having to fight like 20 of them in the final stage. Enemy gates open.
Did it just open? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm going to go head down there. It's all right. Nuke this fucker.
I think it said that as you were charging, so bit of an unfortunate case there.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too big a deal. Not like anyone up there and there's about to immediately die, hopefully. Don't worry, I'm going to try and make this one as quick as I reasonably can. Although I do have to kill these pasta faces before they cause actual issues, so, you know.
You do not, actually. You just have to go and punch Eneru in the face in the stage will end. Because he's in the final base. He's in the enemy home base.
Yeah, I'm going to hope everyone else is able to hold them off for a bit. All right, rock and roll. That hit nothing. There we go.
Those are meant to just be launchers. They hit the 6 feet in front of you and you're not in that 6-foot range. Well, you're fucked, I guess. That's the problem that everyone has.
God, it's got no range.
Can you activate his buff even in that state?
Yes, I was just doing so, in fact.
Huh.
Hey, how about that shit? Convenient.
Well, this stage is over.
Hopefully, if the camera decides to catch up anytime soon. Yeah, see, you can if you're in the air and you do that, you can literally just jump cancel immediately. It's so fucking good.
Usopp, stop helping. You're making it worse.
Shit, that was actually a good amount of damage it just took. Oh yeah, that's right. It helps that Sanji's stats aren't. Keep doing that right now. I'm so fucking tired. Zoro's stats aren't quite maxed out just yet, so I gotta be a little bit careful about this.
Does this game have a thing that some of the other games do where either you or the boss will heal inside their own base? I don't think so, but...
No, otherwise it'd probably be visible.
I was going to say, that'd be a funny reason for him to run back inside his own base. He otherwise doesn't have a reason to do that. Healing item to your left.
I like how I'm finally at that point.
Strange to say it feels like Zoro doesn't do any damage. Correct.
Your stats are also not maxed out, to be fair.
They're not?
He's no, they're not.
50?
No, he's level 50. Well...
Turn it down a notch during the redo?
Nope. I'm switching characters.
Okay.
And I'm cutting this part out. So it'll only affect us now. Is this a different cutscene?
Yes.
Oh. Did I literally just not get this before because I was using Zoro? Okay.
I was going to say, yeah, cut back in here, please. So we know you're supposed to get cutscenes for playing as characters. We lost a cutscene because we played as Zoro. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a little bit wacky. Reverse progress. Awesome.
I've also never seen this scene before, so that's interesting. Not that I can remember, anyway.
I was gonna say there's no fucking way that you've never beaten the stage without Zoro before. Like, statistically, that does not add up. So it must have been a different trigger or something. I feel like we've seen this before. Namely with the re-debut into the anime.
This is cute.
It's just the opening scene from Pirate Warriors 1. Well, I'm glad to see the boys getting along. Anyway, you guys have missed me absolutely destroying.
The base is open. We actually can't do a proper cutback in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kizaru, or yeah, Kuzan has been absolutely fucking annihilating everything in this level. I guess the extra 50 levels or some odd would help.
At some point, I have to wonder if that's not just the matter of having better stats as much as it is just having access to your completed moveset.
Well, there's not much of a complete moveset to be had here, since we already know that doing level breaks doesn't necessarily give you it entirely.
Yeah, it does.
In this game? We established that it doesn't happen in this game, only in Pirate Warriors 3.
I'm pretty sure it extends some of your strings. Maybe not fully to style mode, but I'm fairly certain it gives you some more onto the end.
If anyone's able to prove one way or the other in the comments on YouTube, by all means do so. I am very curious if that's the case. Anyway, he's still frozen. Let's just do it again. This level 2 might be the best one I've seen in the game so far. Not just because of the crazy AoE, but because of the sheer fucking damage it does. And he's running away.
I'm still going to say the best AoE is probably, or best level 2 in the game is probably still Raigo. Because that is literally dropping a giant bomb on everything.
Well, I guess technically, I guess the other best one at this point from what we've seen is probably somehow Hancock's, but if Bugger or not.
Yes, that's grab the healing item first.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice that. SB full. You know what? Fuck, I'll take that.
That healing item there, even that small one, will help you a ton.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to capitalize right now, though. Go for this now.
Good call.
Try to combo that using the time he is frozen. Unfortunately, I think he's right beneath me, so okay, I made contact anyway. Yay.
Nice.
All right, that one took... Actually, I'm curious what the completion time for that one was. That one way better than before.
That's probably going to say something like 6 minutes or something.
Not possible. What, there's more godly place than Drum Kingdom?
Surely it's the medical epicenter of the world or some shit.
Yeah. Never thought pirates and marines could ever coexist. And you never will.
Hey, see, that thing about predicting again, where he might actually be about to agree with pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Because he actually sort of likes them and thinks they're funny, but they're intrinsically evil, so he can't work with them, but he sort of likes the cut of their jib.
Yeah.
He's done that a couple of times.
We've already seen that one, luckily.
Yep.
Okay. We've arrived at that point of the game, boys.
That meme of walking down two paths. That is actually a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Which way, Western man?
Oy.
I can't believe I actually managed to get the Jordan Peterson voice down a little bit, too.
Is that what that's from?
A little bit. I think he posted it, and then people appropriated it as a very funny shit post. No, but in a very funny, mocking way.
Okay.
So now is when things get fun, I guess. I guess now we're aligned with the Marines against Blackbeard, so...
We're, partaking of this shaky but seemingly stable for the moment alliance.
Well, I guess half of this is correct since... What was the organization's name? Sword?
Yes.
Since two of the members are apparently on screen right now and would align with them, even though one of them got deep sixed by Kuzan not long ago. Oof.
Yeah, petty about that.
Rest in peace, Welsh Grandpa. God damn it.
I don't think he's dead. I think he's just heavily injured.
I sure hope so. We need to see Garp do more shit. God damn.
Nigel / Kurt, dead check. Garp.
Dead check. Not dead name, dead check. I do love the aliasing going on with Garp's hair though as he moves back and forward.
Oh yeah.
That is a great detail.
Which no, yeah. Have you been paying attention to Vegapunk's broadcast?
I've been hearing things about secondhand through my chat. Yes.
The bulk of his message was, "Hey, thanks to the 5 elder planets and the world government, the effects of climate change are real. The planet is sunk by 200 meters. That's something that doesn't happen naturally." Also, end of message. Also, hey, about you guys with the Will of D in their name. Static. Oda, you son of a bitch.
Good stuff. I don't know. Garp was frozen and knocked over, and shattered.
I still don't think he's gonna kill him. He kind of owes him a lot. Kuzan is introduced to us saying that he'll do Luffy a favor because he owes Garp his life.
Huh. Yeah, no kidding. So that would have been a very interesting matchup by itself innately. Yeah. I can't wait to see what the anime's going to do with that. That'd be fucking great.
I believe...
This is one of those cases where I'm going to say, yes, anime, by all means, beef up the time of that fight a little bit.
Have we passed that in the anime yet?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything about the revolution or Blackbeard's army going full hog and going apeshit yet.
I've said this before about One Piece, but it's one of those sort of things where it's like, unless you've reread it twice, when you're following it on the week to week, it's sort of hard to, in your memory, place when things happen. Because we've also already gotten, for example, Blackbeard fighting Hancock / fighting the Seraphim.
Yeah, I'll give you that one, especially the fact that I'm on episode 530. I just checked that. Well, I didn't check that. I just got there earlier today. And it's taken me like 8 some odd years to get to this point. Passively, sometimes, granted.
You got to that point faster than the actual week-to-week anime did. And you're something like 48% of the way there.
I am. For a while there, I actually was halfway caught with One Piece.
You know, doing this and putting these numbers out loud just reminds me of, hey, we're a month into COVID. We don't know how long it's going to last. Everyone should take up a project. I know. Everyone on Earth should go and watch all of One Piece while you're locked indoors for what we think will only be 2 weeks, not 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I watched all of One Piece. It's been a month. Help was something that I saw a lot of back then, back in like summer of 2020.
Yeah.
And we have someone that did some such thing ourselves even.
We do. He's not in chat right now, but shout out Tahu for pulling it off. My God.
Saying something to the effect of, yeah, I read the entire manga in like a month.
Which, as a fresh reminder, is over 1,000 chapters. 1,100 by now, I think.
1,117.
Yeah. Do you think we'll cross the 1,500 chapter threshold?
I'm gonna say no, not because I don't think he could, but because we probably shouldn't get Oda doing another, at that point, third of the manga, or at this point, half of the manga to go, because we've seen the tolls it's taken on his body.
We don't need another Detective Conan situation. As a reference, guys, that show's been going for a long fucking time.
Conan only started 4 years before One Piece did. The apt comparison would be something sort of like JoJo, except that's monthly, where that started in 87. The real best comparison would actually be Golgo 13, which started in the 70s and is still going.
There was another one.
Kochikame.
The character was actually featured in J-Stars, funny enough. And that one recently... Yeah, the police officer one.
Yes, that would be Kochikame. That ran for actually 40 years.
Yeah, that is properly insane.
After a while, I think they started doing like, hey, your chapters are actually only like 9 pages instead of 18. If we're going to keep you going that long.
Yeah.
It ended at the same time as Bleach did. Because 2016 was one of Shonen Jump's great purges that now they do on the annually instead of once every couple of years.
Great.
Where they cancel like 8 manga in the span of 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Or a manga that you might like because we're on that simultaneous worldwide distribution where you might be reading something, chapter 1 of an untested series at the same time, as people in Japan, you'll be surprised and shocked and sad when, hey, that series only lasted 17 chapters before getting canceled.
Mm-hmm.